Well, happy Tuesday and welcome to VA Careers Live. My name is Mike Owens and I'm a national recruiter with the Veterans Health Administration, as well as your host for our week. All careers here at VA. Also, whether you're tuning in for the first time or you've been with us for the last 3 years, we want you to be part of the conversation. So feel free to leave any questions and comments in the comment section. Whether you want to ask us a question or whether you have a comment that adds on to the conversation, no matter what that is, go ahead and put that in the comment section, and we'll be sure to address that either in the Talk About It Tuesday episode, or we'll address it in the comment section throughout the day and throughout the week. My team, we like to go through those comments throughout the day and throughout the week. We also want this information to go out to as many people as possible. So don't forget, before you start the broadcast or before you start listening, make sure you hit that share button. Click the share button. We have 2 hashtags that are associated with this broadcast. One is hashtag VA Careers. Again, hashtag VA Careers. And the other one is hashtag Work at VA. Again, hashtag Work at VA. So go ahead and put those hashtags in right before you hit that share button. And let's get this information out to as many people as possible. So with that being said, before we get started, we'll go to our question of the day. So with that being said, I know a couple of weeks ago, well, actually, last weekend, we started, last weekend we started daylight savings time. And I know we had an episode last week about it, but I just want to see if everyone has recovered from, losing that week of that hour of sleep a couple of Sundays ago. So again, daylight savings time started a couple of weeks ago. I know for me, I was dragging. I felt like I was tired the whole week, but yeah. Have you recovered from that? So go ahead and put that in the comment section, and please let me know how you're feeling since daylight saving has come. So with that being said, we are going to go into our episode today. So today we're going to be talking about the main we know that USA Jobs is the main job search the main place where I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. The main place where we apply for jobs here at the VA. And a lot of times that when we get disqualified position from being able to what I want to say be to get to the interview, a lot of times we get disqualified because of a mistake we did on USA Jobs. Either we forgot to update something on our resume, update something in our application. We forgot to fill out, we forgot to accurately answer one of the questions in the questionnaire. So today I just want to talk about that a little bit. So today we're going to talk about some of the most common mistakes on USA Jobs. So the first one is going to be, again, not updating your USA Jobs profile. So when you want to apply for a job, just like with any other website, whether it's a social media website or some website, you must have a profile. And with your profile on USA Jobs, you have your resume, you have your contact information, you have a list of your references that you want to be used in case you get selected for a position or you're in the process of getting selected for a position. Any government forms, if you are if you're a current federal employee or you used to be a federal employee or whatever, there's documents that you have to prove that you are who you say you are. So if you're a veteran, you must have your veterans documents, whether that's a DD-214 or whether that's your disability paperwork. You have to have that. Yes, you have to have that information uploaded on your profile. So the most important thing is make sure that your contact information is up to date. All right. Because if you get called for an interview or you're trying to get the hiring manager wants to select you for an interview, guess what? they have to call you. They have to contact you. Most of the time to get selected, when you get selected for an interview, they're going to give you a phone call. It's very rare that I've gotten an email with somebody asking me, do I want to partake in an interview? Now, I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but most of the time they're going to try to contact you. So my biggest thing is make sure that your contact information, not just in your resume, but on your USA Jobs is updated on your profile. All right. Also, make sure your email address. Make sure you have an email address that you check on a regular basis. All right. Make sure your references. All right. Your references are going to get called. Most likely, if you get selected for a position here at DA, your references are going to get called. All right. So, with that being said, make sure that you have legit references. Make sure you have the updated phone numbers on your references. Make sure your references understand that that you've chosen them for this role, and make sure that they understand that someone at some point is probably going to call them to kind of get their recommendation on you for a job that you've applied for. And just make sure all of that is correct. All right. Also, with that being said, your resume. Make sure your resume is up to date. All right. You should be updating your resume on a monthly basis because, again, if you sit in a job, let's say you've been in your same job for the last 3 years, your job has most likely evolved over the last 3 years. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that all of those duties that have been added onto your position are being added on a monthly basis. Because if you wait a year, you're going to forget some of the things that you've done. And you want to make sure that you add everything. All right. You want to make sure that you add everything. So make sure you update your resume on at least a monthly basis. If you can do it every couple of weeks, that'll be fine. But I know we all live busy lives and we can't sit there and update our resume every 2 weeks. But at least on a monthly basis, keep a running log of things that you do in your position that you are in now, and make sure you add those to your resume because you want to make sure that all of your experience is in your resume. So that's another common mistake is people don't update their resumes. You write your resume and then you just kind of just keep submitting it without updating it. Again, every day something's being added to your job announcement. So please make sure that your resume is updated. Your government forms, all right. So I'm sorry, I'm getting all tongue tied today. This is so passionate to me. But for those of us who spend a lot of time in the government, those of you who were in the military for a certain amount of years. Those of you who were that work for the federal government, whether it was for the VA or for another federal, you have to make sure that those forms that you have to make sure that they're updated on your resume. Understand? So if you have an SF-50, if you're a current federal employee, you get a new SF-50 every year. Make sure that SF-50 is replaced every time you get a new one. Also, your DD-214s, make sure your DD-214s are up to date. Make sure that any disability information is up to date. Make sure if you're a spouse, all your spousal information is on your USA Jobs profile. Because you want to make sure that if you click that you're a spouse, you click that you're a veteran, you click that you're a disabled veteran, you are a federal employee, you're a current VA employee, you have to prove that with your paperwork, with your application. So make sure is uploaded and make sure it's up to date because it changes on a yearly basis. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is properly searching for positions. All right. Properly searching for positions. All right. You have to make sure that I know a lot of times we go on USA Jobs, we hit the search button, and guess what? We type in a job title. We may say human resources. Now, you will get a lot of human resources positions, but you may get other positions that are kind of associated with it that may not be human resources specifically. So if you want just a generic group of jobs, then yes, type in human resources and make sure that and you'll get a plethora. You'll get program support assistants, you'll get human resources assistants, you'll get mission support assistants, you'll get all those different job titles that are associated with it. But if you want to specifically search for a career field and you don't want any other jobs except for positions in that career field, you have to make sure that you find the 4-digit code for USA Jobs. Every career field has a 4-digit code. Like, let's say you want to find human resources management positions. Instead of typing human resources management, type in 0201 into the search engine on USA Jobs, and it'll only pull up jobs that are coded under that career field. So again, if you type in human resources management, you're going to get a plethora of other positions. But if you only want positions that are coded as human resources management, instead of typing in human resources management, type in 0201. Or if you just want human resources assistant, that's 0200. Every occupation has a 4-digit code. So please make sure that you type in that 4-digit code if you want to search for jobs under that career field specifically. Okay. With that being said, also, if you want the latest and greatest jobs, make sure that once you click on that career field, you're going to get a list of jobs, but they're going to be listed by different dates. If you want the latest and greatest jobs, you want to go ahead and click. You want to go click by date open, and then you want to do descending. So when you click on date open, it'll either be the latest, the dates that the jobs that just opened recently, or the jobs that opened the furthest away. So if you want the latest jobs, click on the date opened, and then click on descending, and you'll get the jobs that have just opened as closer to that day. Understand? So you have to understand that. So you want to make sure that you get the latest jobs. Now, if you want jobs that open months prior that are still open, that may be continuous, you can do that. But if you want the latest and greatest jobs that just opened that day or that week, once you search for your job title, once you get that list of jobs, go to the search button, hit open, date open, and then there's going to be another box next to it that says descending. If you do ascending, that means it's going to go to the oldest job down to the new. You want from the newest job down to the oldest, so hit descending. So I hope that made sense. So again, just to kind of recap a little bit, today we're talking about some of the most common mistakes made on USA Jobs. So if you're just tuning in, we're just talking about some things you don't want to miss on your USA Jobs profile, because those things, if you miss something or you do something wrong, then that can cause you to not. That's going to cause you to not be able to get selected for an interview. So the first thing I talked about is not updating the stuff in your USA Jobs profile. So again, try to update your resume at least once a month. All right, at least once a month. If you can do it more than once a month, that's totally fine. But at least once a month. All right. The next thing is make sure your contact information is up to date, because again, if you are moved to the stage where you're being selected for an interview, that human resources manager or that hiring manager has to be able to contact you. So make sure that your contact information is up to date. For most of you, know that in order to be hired for the VA, a lot of times the last step is a hiring manager contacting your references. All right. So your references must be contacted. So you have to make sure that your references first know that they are on your reference list, so they don't get blindsided. The next thing, making sure that their contact information is up to date, because again, you want to make sure that they can get contacted if that hiring manager needs to contact your references. And just that information. But the biggest thing is let them know, give them the common courtesy to understand that you are a reference. Someone's probably going to be calling you, especially if you've had an interview. If you had an interview, make sure you call all of your references and say, hey, I had this interview. I'm not sure if they're going to call you or not, but just be prepared for someone to call you. So if they see a strange number pop up on their phone, they won't think it's a telemarketer and they'll just dismiss it. So make sure that they are, just make sure that you give them the common courtesy. The next thing is to make sure you have all your forms that you need to prove who you are. If you're a veteran, make sure you have your veterans forms. If you're a spouse, make sure you have your spousal forms. If you are a current or former VA employee or federal employee, make sure you have those SF50s up there, and make sure the SF50 is your latest and greatest one. Okay. The next thing is just make sure you properly search for a job. If you want just a plethora of jobs, just a general scope, type in the keywords human resources, because you're going to get human resources plus other positions that are kind of keyed into human resources. But if you just want specific human resources positions, or whether it's engineering or whether it's whatever the career field is, make sure you go to USA Jobs, search for the 4-digit code for that career field, so you can only get those. So it'll cut out everything else, and you'll only get those jobs that are under that career field. All right, so that was just kind of a recap of the things we discussed before. The next thing is in the questionnaire, when you're actually applying for the job, make sure that you answer all the questions. So you're going to have to answer all the questions, because you won't be able to submit your application until everything is answered. But make sure you answer the questions. Make sure you don't disqualify yourself. So sometimes it may be a lot of questions, so we just kind of skim through them, and we just want to just get through the application process as fast as possible. That is a big error. Take your time. If you really want that job, you need to take your time. Understand? You need to really take your time, and you need to really read the questions and understand what the question is asking you, so you can properly answer the question. Because I've seen a lot of people, and I've had that done to me when I used to search for jobs here at the VA before I got hired on. I would not purposely, but I would unintentionally disqualify myself, because I clicked no to a question and I was disqualified, even though the answer was really yes, because I didn't read it. I just kind of skimmed through it and I just hit no, or maybe I hit yes and the answer was supposed to be no, and I self disqualified myself. So when you are going through the application process, please read all of the questions when you're going through the questionnaire, because you don't want to self disqualify yourself. That is a very heartbreaking feeling when you are qualified for a job, but because you skimmed through it or you didn't take time to kind of understand what the question is asking you, you want to make sure that you're not self disqualifying. You're not self disqualifying yourself because you didn't read the question properly. Also, in the application part of the USA Jobs process, again, make sure that all your documents that you need, read the required document section. All right. The required document section is what the things that you need to submit with your application. A lot of times it's just a resume, but don't just assume it's just a resume. All right. A lot of times you need other things. Again, you may need something to prove you are who you say you are, to prove that you're a veteran. You have to make sure that your veteran information is updated. Again, if you're a federal employee, whether current or formal, you want to make sure that you have that information on there. Again, you want to make sure that you have the correct information on there. You don't want to have an old document, something that's been outdated for 2 years because you forgot to update it. And for those of us that are federal employees, that's the SF-50. Because again, if you say that you have if you're a GS-13 and applying for a GS-14 position, and you have to prove that you've had that 1 year experience as a GS-13 to be a GS-14, but you have an old SF-50 that shows that you're a GS-12, you're going to get disqualified because you have the wrong SF-50. So every time you get a new SF-50, normally on a yearly basis, when you get your step increase, or maybe it's bi-yearly, depending on what step you're at. But whenever you get that new SF-50, make sure that you update it in your USA Jobs profile, because you don't want to be a GS-13 and still have your SF-50 in your USA Jobs profile that says you're GS-11. Because when you're trying to apply for a GS-14 position, guess what? The computer or whatever is going to knock you out, because they're going to say you're not qualified because you had an old SF-50. So again, make sure all of your updates make sure everything is updated. Also, just make sure you read through the resume. All right. Read through the job announcement. Make sure that you read through it. All right. All right. Make sure that you read through it, because you want to make sure that you have all the information. You want to make sure that you're qualified. You want to make sure that you're turning in. I think a lot of times, I know I used to do it sometimes. I would read the job title. I say, you know what? I'm qualified for this. I'm qualified for this. This is the job title that I have, but you don't read through it, because you can find 10 positions that have the same job title and there will be 10 different descriptions. So again, make sure you read through it, because you don't want to get disqualified, or you don't want to send yourself through that unnecessary heartbreak because you thought that because you held that job title that you're qualified for that position you're the perfect candidate for that hiring manager at that moment, but that may not be. That may be other duties that you've never held before. So again, like I said, I'll use example, public affairs. All right. I have a background in public affairs. All right. Now I'm more of a writer, but if that hiring manager is looking for someone that has video experience, I have some, but not a lot of video experience. So, I'll be disqualified. But if I don't read that job announcement, guess what? I'm gonna just see public affairs specialist. I'm gonna go ahead and apply for it, and then I find out that I'm not eligible because I realized that hiring manager wanted someone that was proficient in videography, but I'm more proficient in writing and still photography. So just make sure that you read through the announcement. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. So yeah, just make sure you read through. Just make sure you read through the actual job announcement. So again, the biggest thing is just make sure that you're understanding that you have to have everything in your USA Jobs profile. I know I sound like redundant. I sound like I'm a broken record, but you have to make sure that you everything is updated in your USA Jobs profile. All right. You have to make sure it's updated because you never want to miss out on a position because someone could not contact you or someone could not contact your references. Or when it comes to your resume, you never wanted to be disqualified on a job because you did not update your resume. In your mind, you might say, I'm qualified for this job because I've done these duties. But if those duties aren't annotated in your resume, guess what? That hiring manager can't guess if it's not on your resume. If I see your resume, I can only go off of your resume. I can't go off of things that I think you may have done. So make sure, again, update your resume at least once a month. All right. I know there's some resume experts out here that may be watching and they may have other advice on how often you should update your resume. So if you are a resume expert, go ahead and put that in the comment section below. But you have to make sure that you update it. And I would say do it at least once a month. If you can do it every 2 weeks, that's fine. But at least once a month, give your resume a look over. All right. References, again, make sure you have good references. All right. Don't just choose someone that's just a good friend and that may not be reliable. Make sure your references can talk highly of you. Make sure that they're well spoken and make sure that it's something that they want to do. All right. And make sure they're reliable, because if they're unreliable and then the hiring manager tries to call them, guess what? If they don't answer the phone, then that may cause you to miss out on being selected for a position. Now, some hiring managers may call you and say, hey, this reference didn't answer. Do you have someone else? But, some of them, they don't necessarily have to give you that courtesy. So again, just make sure your references are reliable. All right. But yeah, so again, I know I just kind of talked about a few things. This episode can go on and on and on and on, but these were just some of the basic things that I want to talk about in regards to or regarding USA Jobs. All right. So I think we have a couple of questions today. I'll go ahead and see what we have. Let's see. What do we have? It looks like we have one question that says that is from Ishmael. It says, what if you are transitioning, which means I'm assuming you're transitioning out of the military, which means you're not currently out of the military, but you just got out and you don't have all your paperwork. Does a DD-214 draft work or statement of service work? Yes, you can use a DD-214 draft, or if you have some statement of work that says that you served in the military, then that amount of time, yes, that can be substituted, because we understand that, again, people are going to be applying for these positions that are transitioning. I mean, you just got out the military, you don't have all the paperwork hasn't been given to you yet. So it may be a draft, or you may only have a statement of service. Yes, that's totally fine. If you're applying for a job as a veteran and you don't have that DD-214 because you're in the process of transitioning out of the military, yes, that statement of service can work, or a draft DD-214. All right. So Ishmael, thank you. Ishmael, thank you for that question. All right. So with that being said, that looks like that's all we have for today. But if you're watching this episode at a later date, at the time we're live, but if you're watching this episode at a later date, just be sure to put the questions in the comment section. Again, we go through the comment section throughout the day and throughout the week. We get notifications once you put a comment in there. So just go ahead. Don't be shy. Put that comment section in there. So with that being said, thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys watching us on a weekly basis. We're currently going on year number 4. So yay! We've been doing putting out some good information for almost 4 years. But guess what? It's not about me. It's about you guys. So we appreciate those that have been watching us for the last 4 years. And we also appreciate those that this may be your first episode or your first couple episodes that you've seen. No matter where you are in that process, we appreciate you. Keep on coming back. We're here Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern time. Come and join us. And guess what? We'll talk about some good things when it comes to careers here at VA. So have a great day, and we will see you on next Tuesday.